I'll just write down your name again.
Mecca.
M-E-C-A.
E-M-E.
Oh.
E-M-E.
C-A.
K-A.
And
There you go.
We're laughing.
I'll give my last name too
Okay.
because there's 1,000 Meccas online.
Okay, rightio. Okay, so here we are. We're in Sydney. This is the last interview we've got for this afternoon. It's only going to be fairly short.
Yeah.
We're talking to Mecca here, and he's about run out of voice. And we're all sort of starting to run out of voice at this time of day. But so you were one of the speakers here today.
Yes, I was.
So this is a week exactly to the day after the shocking shooting at Bondi Beach, Bondi here.
Yeah.
So I just sort of thought, well, we might see you've come down from Queensland.
Yeah.
And your purpose for being here today. What was your main message? What was your intentions of being here?
Yeah, so I was invited by the Put Australia First group to speak. I spoke at an event a few weeks ago that said they wanted me to speak again at this one. And really what it came down to for me was pretty straightforward. There used to be a day when if the government gets elected, they were elected to serve the people, right? That has slowly but surely changed. They're either serving an agenda or serving themselves, because everything they do now is about them getting re-elected, right? It's really not about how can we best use the time that we've been given to do the best by the people that elected us. So it's becoming clearer and clearer that they have an agenda, and that agenda is not serving the Australian people.
Absolutely right, yes.
And because if it was serving the Australian people, I mean, what we saw occurred over the last weekend, it would have been very swift action for them to come out and actually do something meaningful about it.
Yes.
But they didn't do anything meaningful about it. They did a whole bunch of tokenistic nonsense.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It is tokenistic because they said, well, they're going to, put more stricter gun laws in place and reduce freedom of speech, while they're going to manage hate speech much closely. Let me kind of read in between the lines for that one pretty simply, right? They're going to, let's say, reduce the amount of opportunity for people to access weapons legally. But the reality is when a criminal wants to commit criminal act,
they don't worry about the law.
They don't worry about the law.
Exactly.
So that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? And then, let's say we're going to, and the Prime Minister said something like, it is the right-wing extremists that are causing the problem. Really? It was a right-wing extremist who went to shoot a bunch of people, really? And even worse, what we saw over the weekend, we now know that they knew about these folks. They knew that these guys left the Australian soil, went out, got some learning from ISIS, came back, bought some guns with his father, and then committed the atrocities that he did. So we knew. The government is proudly able to tell us that they knew that something bad could happen because of the patterns of behavior for this guy, yet they let it happen. And their simple solution is just to do a bunch of tokenistic nonsense. Really? Well, that tells me they no longer serve us. That tells me they have an agenda. That tells me that agenda is not about serving you or I. It's about maybe their globalist nonsense. Their work is in crap. I mean, I'm in Sydney and there is a pavement here, a walk path that's painted rainbow rubbish. I don't care who you are, but that kind of nonsense is what we are now investing money into, DEI rubbish, instead of actually standing up. We have a government that has no backbone, and it's clear because they want to invest into that. And by the way, that's the distraction. They're too busy investing to diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is rubbish for let's accept anything and everything because we have no principles. They have none. They've lost their principles, they've lost their values, and they've lost their integrity. So the reality is we can't trust them anymore. So my message was really simple today. If you can't trust the government, then you're the only one who can change it by making sure that when the next election comes around, you do not ever vote them again.
And look, to say the very least, I agree 100%.
Thank you.
But
I thought you might.
In addition to that, I'm sort of not so much into voting them out.
Yeah.
I'm into let's get the federal police to go into Parliament and arrest them. because
Yeah.
as we knew to start with, but now the evidence is coming out being crystal clear.
Yeah.
They did know this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And as it's turned out, they have allowed it to happen to make political mileage out of it.
Yes. To further the agenda. And that is a sad reality when your government, they would choose to allow something that will further the agenda rather than simply standing up for what is right to protect their own people. You see, the idea that the federal police should go in and arrest them, and that's a nicety, but the reality is the way the law works. And this is why I believe in people educating themselves, right? The way it works, that can't happen. Because when we elect them, the law is positioned so that the federal police only answers to them, because we've endorsed that power and authority to them. So the only power we have, and this is why they want to divide us, this is why they want to split unity, the only power we genuinely have is when we are put in a position when we're able to say, use our votes to say something meaningful, we vote for somebody different. And to be honest with you, at this point, it just needs to be independent or a minor party. Because what the message you want to send is that you're not here inevitably regardless of what you do or don't do. Because that's what they believe. They do believe that regardless of what they do or don't do, they will retain those seats.
One of them is going to get in this time or next time.
That's right. And so there is no difference where they will just play that whole charade in front of you. And so if we can send them a clear message that, hang on a second, whether you like it or not, we can replace you. That's the message that needs to be sent. And we are probably only about a year or so away from being able to do that. So that's why I want to spread that. And in the meantime, we do that in unity. We do not allow ourselves to be divided by the hatred and the discord that they want to sow, because that would only further their agenda.
And that's their specialty.
Oh, hell yeah.
Working out.
How to divide people, because if you can divide a group of people, it is very easy for you to conquer them. And I can guarantee you the powers that be, the globalists and this government that now has answers to those globalists, the one thing they are afraid of is a united people.
That is the most thing they are afraid of.
Yes.
So,
and they know for a fact that if we are united and we can, and by the way, that's the reason why they're banning free speech.
Absolutely.
That's the crux of it.
Yep.
Because if they can take away your ability to say things, then they can take away your ability to think things, and they can take away that ability for those two things, then the ability for us to unite at a great number that poses a realistic force against them becomes diminished. I've lived long enough to see it. I've actually lived in countries where that has been used as a weapon against the people.
Well, no better example exists right now than England.
Yes,
where
you can see it.
Yeah, people can be arrested and put in jail just for something they say.
Yeah.
And while some sort of Islamic terrorists can be screaming all their prayers and things,
nothing will happen.
Nothing happens at all.
Yeah. So the playbook, and I said today, history has a funny way of replaying itself, and it will, over and over again. And all it will take is for people to stand and say, we've had enough, and do it united. That's it.
And that's where we need to be. So
that was my message today for your people.
All right, well,
whoever they might be, it's good to meet them, and they can find me online as well. And I'm sure I'll.
So you might give your whole name, so as people can find your whole name.
Yeah, it's Emeka Unscripted or Edwin Nweze, and you can find me. It's a bit hard to spell Edwin Nweze, but Emeka Edwin. If you literally just Google Emeka Edwin, you'll find me over the internet. I said something about a month ago that went super viral, and I didn't even post it. So I just found out today when they were showing me, and I was like, cool, that's nice.
That's the name of the game.
Well, it's the aim of the game for me is to educate people, enlighten them, and empower them to act through the education and through the enlightenment.
Which is a big part of what we do.
Well,
that's why we're here.
I'm glad I could support you with that today.
No, well done, mate.
Thank you.
Glad we can support you.
Post it, and hopefully that will go viral too. And even if you don't tag me, it's good to meet you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll catch up with you later, and see you later.
Likewise. What was the phone for? I kept showing her that.